absolutely love what they're doing. You got a lot of 1-year deals. You got things where they pushed higher contracts to the following year because when the cap goes up, they'll have more cap room. So those are the two things I really love that's going on right now. It's a whole new ball game here in Giants land, and I love it.
So somebody told me recently that this is the Giants playing the comp pick game. I hear 1-year contracts, and I think prove it deals. Somebody told me this is them starting to play the comp pick game, where if you sign a guy to a 1-year deal and he doesn't perform, then there's pretty much, no harm, no foul. If you sign a guy to a 1-year deal and he does perform and you keep him, then great. You got a cheap year out of him. And if he signs a 1-year deal and he performs and goes elsewhere, you get a comp pick. So somebody told me that this is what they're doing with 1-year deals. So I thought that was interesting.
A lot of 1-year deals, right? It's like way more than I expected.
A lot of 1-year deals.
Yeah. Yep. And by the way, Sean, you are right. I had to while Ryan was just talking there, I just reset the comments. Yeah, because it was like we're live, but somehow the comments on YouTube and Twitter wasn't working. So it seems like it's working now.
There we go. Yeah,
so
hey Mark.
It's working now, Mark. So I reset that. So if someone came in at 7:30 for probably 6-7 minutes, it might not have looked like we were there. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, did I just do that? Yeah, I did.
We brought it back. Rush bringing it back.
Yep, that was my bad. So yes, Mark Thompson, good to see you. We are here. I don't know what happened the first 6 or 7 minutes, but I reset it. We were just talking about 6-7 exactly. All right. So then, Ryan, I got a little bit of love. What's up, Joe B? Joe B's in the house. My stand-up comedian bud.
Hey, Joe B.
So we got Sean gave us some love. Chris gave us some hate. Where are you, Mr. Dunleavy?
I'm going to be a hippie, and I'm going to say I love love. And what I love is the idea that the Giants are pursuing a Hall of Fame caliber talent and not being pigeonholed into like, we got to worry about what the 2030 salary cap is going to look like and make sure that we get a right tackle whose second contract 5 years from now is going to be affordable because the right tackle market might be $42 million in 2001. And we got to worry about that now rather than just drafting a good frigging player who might be in the Hall of Fame one day, like Jeremiah Love or Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs or Vega, whatever his last name is, even though they play guard or running back or safety or inside linebacker. How about this? How about the team that wastes top 10 picks habitually on Eli Apple and Evan Neal and Eric Flowers and DeAndre
Baker.
DeAndre Baker.
DeAndre Baker.
Kadarius Toney.
How about they just get a dog? And if that is Jeremiah Love, then so be it. Like, personally, I'm the king of the running back. I wouldn't take the running back. I think he's great. I wouldn't take him because I think that they're okay right now at running back. But if he wants him, I understand I support the philosophy of great players make a difference. So I love that they're just not blindly staying loyal to the positional value thing that like some handbook somewhere tells you have to do. And they're actually looking at difference-making players.
No doubt. And best player available is a little subjective, right? There is who you say is the best player is not what the next
Nobody drafts the best player available. Nobody. It's the biggest myth in football. They draft the best player at the position that they need the most. That's what they do.
I agree. Now, the Giants lost 5 games with 10 minutes left on the clock. So running the ball wasn't the issue. It's been defense. It's been defense for a long time. Can't stop the run. Can't shut the pass down. Can't close games out, Chris. We've seen this before, right? So, we chatted a little bit about, love, hate, had some fun with it. The biggest question right now, which has been a topic, is this. Are they set at cornerback, or do we have a bunch of patchwork back there, Chris? Like, do we have enough DBs, Chris? Do we have the right DBs?
I don't think
we got a bunch of 1-year guys running around.
Right. I don't think you never have enough DBs. You see guys go down. I mean, Adebo, he's probably really a 2, and then you bring in Newsome, right? He was a former number 1, but I don't know if you're not looking at him as really a 1. So yeah, they are. And then Deonte Banks off the bench or coming in as a second. So it's definitely a concern. Definitely.
Does anybody think they're set at corner? Is this a debate that I'm missing in Giants world?
It was definitely a topic I've seen over the last 48 hours.
And somebody said yes.
That they're set?
There were some folks out there that their opinion was, we've spent all this money on defense. We need to make sure we draft Love because another corner would just be a waste. And I'm like, I don't know what team you're watching.
Yeah. And back at Newsome, you have Rico Payton. You guys confident in Rico Payton coming in?
You got Art Green.
Art
Green, which is a special teamer, that's really why, right? He made the team.
Right. No, we need some help.
I would like Greg Newsome as the third corner and third outside corner, not counting Drew Phillips or Ardarius Washington in the slot. Like third outside corner, Greg Newsome. Deonte Banks, I would like off the team. And Rico Payton, sure. Rico Payton and Art Green, 4 or 5, whatever. I think they're missing a starting corner.
Ryan, let me ask you, have you heard rumblings about Amartya Lattimore? I know he had injury concerns.
I have not heard one. Yeah, I've not heard one.
A bargain deal on a Stephon Diggs down the
you Trey Diggs, you mean?
I mean Trey Diggs, his cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I have not heard anything about either of those guys in the Giants. No, I have not. I do believe they will sign another veteran player, probably someone of more ilk than Sam Roberts at defensive tackle. I do believe they will sign another. I do believe they'll add another defensive tackle between here and the draft. I have not heard anything about a corner. Doesn't mean it's not coming. I just have not heard anything about a corner.
So Sean, think about what again, as I was saying earlier, and think Ryan kind of agreed with me, is like, you do have to address holes, but you are going to get the best player available at that position, right? There's probably a couple guys that, Love is probably the guy who's on the board at number 7, number 8, right? But the very next team that's going in, drafting before you or after you may have him at 12 or 11. He's still the best running back on the board, right? And if you're drafting best player available right now, you got to think the Giants need a corner to start on day one opposite of Adebo. Why would I pass on a corner? Like we just
he's the best. He's not the best running back on the board, Craig. He's the best offensive weapon on the board. He's better than all the receivers and the tight end.
I know they say that, but that's in college. Those guys, like, they get there hasn't been a guy.
Bijan wouldn't be the best weapon on the Giants besides Malik Neighbors.
Agreed.
He'd be the best pass catcher on the Giants. He'd be the best pass catcher on the Giants. He'd be the Giants' number 2 receiver.
But then he's not the best runner. I mean, in the NFL, there's not one player in the NFL that's the best wide receiver and the best running back on a team in the NFL.
Sure, there is. His name's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, McCaffrey's.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara.
When
he was in his prime.
I'll disagree. I mean, he's
when
not
he was in his prime this year. Forget the thousand season.
80 catches maybe he had?
No, I said Alvin Kamara when he was in his prime.
Oh, Alvin Kamara when he was.
But Alvin Kamara was primarily a pass receiving running back. I mean, he's never been a 1,100, 1,200 yard rusher. Just hasn't been. Just isn't.
I was talking to McCaffrey in January about my favorite topic, which is, running back contracts. And he had a great line to me. He said his 1,000 season, he said, if you eliminated all my rushing yards, I would have got paid 3 times more than I got paid for having a 1,000 season. If you took away all my rushing yards and I just had whatever he had received, and he just had 100 and what do you have? 116 catches for 1,005 yards. He's like, they would have paid me for just that. They would have paid me 3 times what they paid me if I didn't also have a 1,300 yard.
And while you're correct, that one is an anomaly, or if you want to say Alvin Kamara, but he was more a receiver than a running back. It's not a staple in the NFL that he's gonna do that he's gonna come in here and
not
be
that. It's not that he's going. It's not a lock that he's going to.
I mean, you could throw Jahmyr Gibbs is really good on the Lions too, and Love is as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs and taller and heavier. So here's what I'll say: running backs are making a comeback. Ryan's going to be extremely happy. The running back is making a comeback. I'm extremely happy as a former running back. They should be. They should never have been undervalued the way they were. They make a difference in the game. They're going to make a difference now because it's what the offense needs to do to make the adjustment to what defenses did to adjust to what offenses was doing. So you've seen Bijan go in the first round. You've seen Gibbs go in the first round. You've seen other guys go in the first round. I would not be surprised to see Love go somewhere in the top 10.
10. I think he's going to go in the top 6.
He's going to get drafted in the top 10.
So here's the thing. I personally think that it's a smokescreen how much interest that they have in Jeremiah Love, but I would not be surprised if they do take him, and I would not be upset if they took him. And here's the reason why. I know we talk about defense, but the biggest upgrade and the biggest addition we made to the defense was addition by subtraction. We got rid of Shane Bowen. You can win in this league with Paulson Adebo and Greg Newsome as your corners. You absolutely can. You don't need 2 shutdown corners.
You can win 5 games.
You can win more than 5 games with those guys there. And listen, everybody's looking at what Greg Newsome did in Jacksonville, but he was not a scheme fit there. He was much better in Cleveland, and he has experience going against George Pickens. He went against George Pickens twice a year when he was in Cleveland, and he did well against him. So Harbaugh's going to build a team to compete against the NFC East. That is number one. I'm convinced
with AFC players.
Well, the concern at cornerback is the depth, right? When you get past the starters, you don't have much.
Absolutely, but I don't think we need a CB1. I don't think that. Now, Mansour Delane, I think we can draft him at 5. I don't think I have no problem being the opposite in the minority.
It just doesn't make
sense.
You
can win. I think they do believe that they can get something out of Greg Newsome. I do believe Paulson Adebo was playing well until he got injured. Deontay Banks is what scares me. The fact that he's the backup is what scares me. We need somebody else, but I don't think we need a CB1. Now, will they draft a CB1? They might.
5 games with 10 minutes because they could not.
Who is the defensive coordinator? Who's the defensive coordinator?
He doesn't play though, dude. You still got to make plays.
We're not getting. I'm not getting into this tonight.
We know how
coaching matters. Coaching matters. We saw the difference when Bolin took over.
Sean,
coaching matters.
No one.
Tell me how many teams have a CB1 have 2 shutdown corners?
We don't have any.
We have corners that can win in this league with. We have corners you can win in this league with. We need more. We need depth. We need backups. But we have
5 games.
You can win with our corners.
Chris, we lost 5 games with 10 minutes left on the clock because we couldn't stop the pass. We couldn't cover receivers. Play after play after play after play. Wide open.
Well, I'll also throw into the rotation, right? I mean, the rotation that Bowen had with the defensive line and leaving Dexter out and things like that also played a factor. And also,
I don't mind Mansour Delane to solve this problem, but I don't think he's worthy of the number 5 pick, which gets to what I really think the Giants would like to do that I don't think is being discussed nearly enough. And I think the Giants would, if you ask me right now what the Giants, if they had their druthers, what they would like to do is trade down within the top 10. That's what I think they would like to do.
Yeah.
So I think not to 20, to trade down to somewhere where all of a sudden Vega and Delane and Carnell Tate and Mawagoa, where you're getting good value for those guys instead of reaching for them at 5.
And Craig, keep in mind the scheme with the zone, right? This is going to be more of a zone team as well. And you got to have a little confidence in Denard Wilson that he's going to be able to fit the pieces in the puzzle to make this work on the back end. So that's what I'm holding some faith. But depth is an issue. I am concerned about the depth.
As a former safety, Chris, he's going to coach up Holland. And he's going to coach up Newbin. Like, that's what you're thinking he's coming here to do, right? Because he's a former NFL safety. But you lost 5 games, under 10 minutes because they couldn't stop it. a cornerback makes sense. Dropping down from 5 to 9, 5 to 11 can make some sense. There could be some opportunity there. The running back in the leagues, they last 2.5 years in the NFL. You could say it won't happen to Love.
That's not
not
true.
to somebody like that. No.
But hold on, that's not true. That's not true.
What do you mean?
That's
it is 100% true.
No, it's not, because you're grouping them all together as like the 6th round running back.
You
can't do that. That's the top
average,
20 running back.
The average is average. The average running back in the league is 2.5.
But
That's
if
what
You're not drafting Jeremiah Love to be the average running back.
I would take the number one first round running backs. Take that average.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me what the top.
Take the first round
average.
Running back is the position's the position.
No,
just because he goes in the first round doesn't mean your guys are crazy because you get hurt. It doesn't matter.
But guys that are drafted in the 4th round come in like the Wayne Gallmans and some of these other guys. They fizzle out.
But if the guys who get drafted and get hurt also too, if you get hurt, you get hurt.
Yeah, but give me the average of the first round guys.
But look at right. Look at how well those first round running backs have been doing now. The last several years.
Yeah, I think it's the safest position you could draft in the NFL. They're immediate impact home run guys, and the third most valuable thing in the NFL, the way it's played today, number 1 is quarterback, number 2 is pass rusher, number 3 is home run weapon. And
3 is defense end or tackle.
Oh no,
quarterback, tackle, pass rusher.
2 is
how they get paid.
2 is
that's what I said 2.
Yeah, but quarterback, left tackle.
Oh yeah, sure. Rusher. Okay, I'll give you that. Left tackle, pass rusher. 4 is home run weapon,
which is wide receiver.
No,
it's anybody. Jahmyr Gibbs is just
not anymore.
Good.
It's not.
How many teams in the NFL are there that their running back is the bigger home run hitter over the wide receiver? Not many, maybe 5.
But that's changing because defenses are changing. They're not giving up the home run plays anymore. They're playing a too deep shell. You think the wide receiver is going to be running deep all day long like they were for several years?
How many wide receivers get? Ryan's point just was.
I get it. They're getting
wide receivers get paid. Running backs don't.
You heard it here first. It's changing. They got paid. And I know JSN got paid, but watch the running back come back. Watch the value. We just saw.
By the way,
who was the MVP of the Super Bowl? Who was the MVP of the Super Bowl?
$1,000.
Who was the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Chris, he doesn't want to bet.
But we've seen it 2 years in a row now, right? We saw it with Barkley. We saw it with Walker. So things are changing more towards the running back, I think.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
Two teams don't make a change.
But
I would like
winning teams.
For once, I would like to see the Giants be proactive with an NFL trend and not behind the times.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Scatterboo and Mr. Roger Goodell.
Hold on. Let me say this before you finish the corners. I do think there is some optimism inside the building, not from me, inside the building on Deonte Banks. I do think there is some optimism inside the building that he was pretty good as a rookie under Wink Martindale, and the Ravens system, whatever, has some areas in Denard Wilson who learned from this guy, who learned from that guy, who learned from Wink, who learned from this guy. Like, I think there is some optimism that Denard Wilson's play style and demeanor will bring up will simplify things for Deonte Banks the way Wink Martindale did.
When you say optimism in the building, is that referring to like front office or
I don't want to.
The janitor.
No,
people who get Giants paychecks.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who's evaluating that, because that's a really bold statement, and I'm like,
I mean, they didn't say he's going to be good. I just said that there's some optimism that he's not a lost cause.
Yeah. Well, we know he can return kicks,
and not a lost defensive cause. I need to see him. My concern with Deonte Banks and John Harbaugh is if John Harbaugh is what he says he is about guys who love football and effort's not negotiable, then I don't see how he's going to like Deonte Banks. But athletically and schematically, if that could fit, but then you got to we got to see a Deonte Banks who gives a full effort. So
yeah, I mean, if maybe he does give a full effort. Maybe he gives more of an effort because now that's expected out of him where it wasn't before.
Chris, I need to answer your question. First round running backs have an average of 4.5 years in the NFL.
Is that true? That can't be true. I'm gonna look.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what the AI engine told me.
And how far are you going back? Over how many? Can you do like a certain amount of years? I'll put that in there.
You wanted years?
Like, well, why don't you go back since maybe you should go 10 years?
I did everything, but you can do years.
Well, I don't know. Maybe go 10 years, like do 2015 to 2025. Last 10 years, what's the average?
Okay. Last 20, you said?
I was saying 2015 to 2025.
Yeah, but you might not get enough running backs drafted in the first round.
I don't think you can just do it as a whole for,
Yeah, I got you.
Going back to the 1930s.
Some of these engines are good, and some of them are like you have to tell them they're wrong. Last 20 years is 5.5.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I mean, I could, you could push it and ask for more sources, right? Because sometimes, if you ask it for more sources, it may get even better.
So they've done it. They've played their contract, their 5th year, basically.
Yeah,
on average.
So cornerback, we feel. Sean says we're going to win. We're going to the playoffs with the corners that we have.
I do. Absolutely. I will put on record. I don't care.
I heard you.
Absolutely.
I bet you $1,000.
I absolutely we can win with that. We won with Paulson. We would have won had we better defense coordinator with Paulson Adebo and Cordell Flott as our corners.
You know what they say about my uncle when he's an uncle or he's
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
hey, Aaron Ross, Sam Madison, and Corey Webster was getting run out of the town until they played Buffalo. Until he got that interception.
Scheme helps corners.
That was the pass rush back then. Those DBs or the corners back in 2007 weren't the greatest either.
I mean, they went to the playoffs. They went to the playoffs in 2022 with Fabian Moreau, who signed like a day before the season.
Exactly.
There you go. So I think the pass rush is going to play a big part, obviously.
That's the key.
It always does make the biggest difference when we have one, right? So, and that's a conversation.
But they had one last year, and it didn't make a difference. So,
well, scheme as well, right? Right with Bowen. There was some.
I know everybody wants to blame Shane Bowen. I know.
Well, we've all agreed that the rotation was odd. Dexter didn't have a great year. No one to play next to Dexter. Carter played.
Which they still don't have.
Here's what I want to ask, because Ryan and Craig are on the same page on this. If coaching doesn't matter, why do coaches get fired then?
Well, no one said it didn't matter. Who said it didn't matter?
Yeah. I think it matters a ton. I think they're the only reason I think they're better right now. I don't think they got much better in free agency. The reason I think they're better is because they're going to be better coached.
Right. So why can't we pin what they did defensively last year on?
Because I don't think it was all Shane Bowen.
Okay.
I don't think it is on one side.
I've made that clear on here many times. I don't think it was all Shane Bowen. So
yeah, I mean, there's a little bit. It goes both ways, right? Guys are out of position. 100%. Then there's talent missing on some guys. Didn't live up. I mean, again, like Tibbs is hurt all the time. Dexter didn't live up to what he should have done. Right? He's overweight. We got Debo's hurt all the time. Like there's a lot of factors that come into play. Coaching completely matters. We wouldn't have had the offensive line play without
correct.
Yeah. Well, let's move into Scat, because Scat's been all over the news, and we want to kind of figure out, do we take any of what Scat is saying to heart? Sounds like there was a lot of sarcasm. I don't know, Ryan. What's the is the building concerned? Did you get a call from Roger Goodell? Hey, don't talk about CTE. We spend $20 billion.
It wasn't a smart thing to say. I get, like, he said he was a tasteless joke or whatever, and he's a rookie. He said he's just the kind of guy who says a lot of wild things, and it's hard to know what's a joke and what's not, right? Didn't he say he was going to retire after the first time he got hurt, and then he got hurt and didn't retire, and he just says a lot he says a lot of wild things, right? He does it, on whether it's on Twitch or on podcasts or like he says a lot of wild things. So yes, I would say the building was not happy with those comments. Does he get some grace being that he's young and popular and still learning to that professional athletes need a filter at some point? Like, yes, but people weren't thrilled about it. He apologized. I get it. It reminds me of somebody we're probably going to talk about in 10 minutes who often stuck his foot in his mouth and had to apologize.
Sean, does Roger give Scat a call and say, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like, or is this a Hardball's first heart to heart with Scat?
Yeah, I mean, he probably calls Harbaugh or Shane and says, "Hey, have a little conversation with your guy, let him know things like that." But again, he's goofy. Like, I just hope that Giants fans will make a big deal out of this and turn it into something that it's not. And I mean, he made a comment about asthma too, and his mother has asthma. And his mother came out and said, "Look, he's just being sarcastic." Like, it is who he is, and people have to understand that. Like, we got to put it in context. You got to watch the whole clip. You got to see that. Was it a smart thing to say? No, but he's young. I mean, we all were young and dumb at some point and said stupid things. So he'll learn.
I hope for his sake he does some research and realizes that it very much is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I remember I've talked to a Giants I'm not going to say who it is, but I remember having a conversation with a Giants offensive lineman sometime in the last 8 years who was like, "I'm going to get CTE. Like, I know it. The way I play, I'm going to get it. And I'm willing to get it for the amount of money that I pay to take care of my family. Basically, the amount of money I get paid, I'm willing to do it." But like, he was aware of it, he believes in it, and he's willing to put it on the line for that. Like, you can have your opinion about that thought, but like, that to me is like, okay, he understands what he's getting into. Saying it doesn't exist, joke or not, it's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for the team. It's not a good look with your alumni. You don't think the Giants have alums that are dealing with circumstances right now? They certainly do, and it's just not a good, or their buddies are, or whatever. It's just not a good impression you want to make on the generation that came before you.
Yeah, we're definitely chalking it up to being young, inexperienced, and saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, and then not catching yourself saying, "Oh, my bad. I was just messing around. Tasteless joke. My bad." But he'll live and learn. Some of them do, some of them don't. Right? Some are repeat offenders, and some are not. Right? Which is gonna, I guess, is the biggest topic that I want to talk about.
Speaking of repeat offenders,
yeah. The biggest question of the week for me is OBJ. Odell Beckham Jr. is severely washed up, and he goes out and makes a touchdown catch in a flag football game, and everyone's burning down the building that we need to bring this guy in who had 500 yards in 2021 and didn't play in 2022, and then had 500 yards in 2024 and had 55 yards in 2025, and we're burning the building down to bring this guy in who's washed with a capital W. And as Ryan just alluded to, I don't know. He's been here before and was one of the most dynamic players in the franchise history. The question is, Sean, is OBJ washed? Do you want him to have a roster spot? I think you were already saying that he's better than Slayton. So, which is kind of hard to swallow.
No, let's quote me exactly how I said it. I said he has better hands.
You said he was better than Slayton.
He's got better hands than Slayton, is what I said. He absolutely still has better hands than Darius Slayton. That is not up for debate. Now, here's what I would say. Inviting him to camp costs nothing. It's low risk, high reward. He's not taking up a roster spot. He has to earn it. I'm not making a big deal out of the catch he made, other than it still shows he has athleticism. He still has great hands. Doesn't matter who he did it against. I'm not looking that he made a fantastic catch against guys that are going to be playing the Olympics. What I'm looking at is he got high up in the air and he made a one-handed catch. Athleticism is still there. Where I think that he comes into play and where it could be good. Number one, Malik Neighbors is good with the idea. Brian Burns is good with the idea if he comes in. I think he can be a nice veteran presence for these young wide receiver core to help him with route running. He's a great route runner and he's got great hands. There's positive things he can bring, but what he has to do is he has to not be the OBJ of the past. My only issue with OBJ was always the interview he did after signing that big contract, and to say you never wanted to leave here. If you didn't want to leave here, if you didn't want to get traded, you would not have said what you said in that interview with we know who. That's my biggest issue with him. Am I banging down the door to bring him in? No. Do I think it's a bad idea to bring him in? No, I don't think it's a bad. You're not guaranteeing him a roster spot. What does it hurt? And that's my thing. But he needs to make amends. He needs to, and he wants to be here. So what's it hurt?
Chris, Sean thinks that he's not a distraction anywhere he goes. So the question is he a distraction where he goes? Because that's been always part of his, his MO.
Not according to John Harbaugh. I mean, John Harbaugh actually enjoyed him playing for him when he was with Baltimore. I mean, you have guys, Jalen Hyatt, Bo Collins, Dylan Combre. You have guys on this roster right now that he could probably compete for a job.
How do you know that? How do you know John Harbaugh enjoyed him playing for him?
Because there were quotes from John Harbaugh about his relationship with OBJ when he was in Baltimore.
I don't know.
That was going back. It's out there. There are quotes that how we practiced hard.
I don't know if it's necessarily true. I mean, I have to find those. I'd have to find those quotes. I'm glad you said that because now I'll go look for them.
Just about his practice and that he wasn't, he
distraction.
He enjoyed coaching him. That was basically the premise.
Right. Okay.
But if you have 90 guys going into camp on the roster, hey, like Sean said, let him earn a spot. You mean to tell me he can't possibly make if he understands ahead of time that, listen, you may be the fourth receiver on this roster. And even if he does get cut and he doesn't get picked up on another team, he's learned the playbook. He's on the short list. He could end up on a practice squad, similar to we've seen other veterans. Hey, there's no negative as long as he understands the situation and John Harbaugh is comfortable of bringing him into camp. Once again, 90 guys have to be on that roster. No guarantee he makes a team. But when you have the depth at the receiver position further down the list, you can't tell me that he doesn't have a shot to be the fourth guy possibly on the roster at receiver.
Ryan, Chris's point is well taken that he could be number 4, learn the playbook, get 4 or 5 snaps a game. Is that like, I mean, OBJ's got the biggest ego in the room. He just said 3 weeks ago that he couldn't live on $50 million or something crazy like that.
I think he's been humble too. Craig, I think he's been humble the past couple of years.
I know, but Chris, 2 weeks ago, he said he couldn't live on $100 million. And you think he's going to be okay with 4 snaps a game?
Then you cut him. You get rid of him.
Yeah.
Ryan,
I think it's
sense into that.
I think it's a terrible idea. I think that's a bad idea on so many levels. One, he can't play anymore. Okay. He just can't play anymore. So, it is what he barely played when he was he had 9 catches in 12 games or something for the Dolphins. Before that he was Harbaugh had him. What did he have there?
500 yards.
500 yards in 14 games. 500 yards in 14 games, and I think badly tailed off towards the end of that season, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Didn't play all last year. End of his season, the last 3 games with the Ravens: 1 for 14, 2 for 13, 1 for 33. So, I don't think he can play anymore. To me, like, this is the John Harbaugh era is a fresh start, clean slate. The last thing I want to do is bring in the old era. He cannot just be Odell Beckham here the same way Evan Neal cannot just be a guy here. Like Evan Neal's always going to be the busted first round pick here. That's why he should have signed somewhere else. He'd just be a guy. Odell Beckham maybe could go somewhere else and be the fourth receiver. He's not going to be the fourth receiver here. If he only gets 4 snaps and Isaiah likely scores a touchdown in week 1, let me tell you whose locker I'm going to be at. I'm going to be at the guy who had the 4 snaps, who's the Giants legend, to say, hey, did you happy with that play? Are you happy with the role you played today? Like, that's the way it is. He is Odell Beckham, Giants legend. Like, he is not going to just be the 4th receiver. He's not going to be Calvin Austin here. He's just not going to be him. He's the guy who made the catch. Like, that's who he is here. So he can never just blend into the background. He was never he was always a good teammate in terms of his teammates loved him as a guy. He was always very generous with his sponsorship opportunities. Like, his locker was full of stuff. Hey, you guys want a pair of shoes? Here you go. You want to the guys who don't have deals. He was always taking care of guys. I don't ever get the feeling he was a great teacher mentor type guy. So the idea, I don't know that I want his antics around Malik Neighbors. The last thing I want is Malik Neighbors to have young Odell Beckham's persona. If you're telling me he's a different guy now, sure, I would need to see that to believe it. It doesn't sound that way when he does interviews. I'm sure he wants to come back. It's a nice story for him to wrap his career here. Do it on a 1-day retirement contract like Prince Amukamara or somebody or who's the other? Justin Tuck, somebody like that. I don't need to see you play again.
Chris, you were talking about him earning a roster spot. I mean, it is kind of reality, right? He's got a big ego. He's used to being the guy, and he has been the guy. He was, like I said, he was the most explosive offensive player I've ever seen.
He was terrific. That's
terrific.
Everything I just said is not.
Yeah, and Ryan's points are well taken. My whole idea is if you have 90 guys coming in camp and injuries happen, you have a Neighbors coming off of the ACL, you have other guys that could potentially get hurt because it always happens. My feeling is if you set the parameters, what's the harm in bringing him to camp? And if he acts up, if there's a problem, he's gone.
Because he wasn't the guy in Miami. He didn't go to Miami to be the guy.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying they should bring him in. I'm just saying I don't see the harm in it. I don't, to invite him. And if it doesn't cost you anything. If you cut him, it doesn't cost the thing. You do it the right way. I don't think it'll happen, but if we're talking about points, a reason why he could, there's reason why. And it showed. Again, you think he went to Miami to be the guy? He was number 3 or 4 guy down there, maybe even number 5.
And just to make it clear, I'm not saying bringing him in either. I'm saying if he did bring him in, I would be fine with that as long as he's good.
It's
soldier.
just interesting.
It's going to be an absolute circus if they bring him back.
I don't disagree with that, and this is present company excluded or included, but no offense to present company included. The media is going to make it a circus, and that's the problem. If he can help this team and make this team better, that would be my issue, that we don't want to bring him in because the media is going to make him a circus. And I get it.
Well, he is a circus. I mean, he's a circus.
I get, but he wasn't a circus with the Rams. He wasn't a circus with the Ravens. None of that. He was only a circus with the Giants because he was young and he did the things he did on the field. And then he had that interview. But when he went to the Rams, he won a Super Bowl with the Rams and probably would have had a huge game if he doesn't get injured in that game. There was no circus around him there.
What about the Browns?
Around him, there was no circus around him with the Browns either.
Really?
Yeah.
Him and Baker Mayfield hated each other.
I know. I'm like,
that's not a circus to me. That's not a circus to me. You think that doesn't go on other teams?
Well, you can't have the number 1 receiver.
I mean, Kevin Stefanski made the Browns a circus with Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel and all that other crap. So, I mean, let's be realistic. It's not like the Giants are the only thing. When I say circus, I don't view that as a circus. It's got to be really, really bad for me to view it as a circus. And when he did that interview with Josina Anderson, that turned it into a circus. And then everyone went to him and everything was about him and everything else. Yeah, but how many years ago was that? You don't think people mature in age?
The guy said 2 weeks ago that you can't live on $100
Maybe he can't
million
because he's bad financially. So maybe he can't live on $100 million right now because he's got bad finances and bills and loans and everything else.
Yeah,
he didn't say anybody can't live on $100 million. He said he can't, right? Isn't that what he said?
He suggested that $100 million contract is not enough to last a lifetime.
To last a lifetime.
Okay. My point is, I think you could get a player with as much upside who's younger and doesn't have as much baggage. Baggage. Let's call it baggage.
Yeah, I got no problem
whatever.
with that.
Let's call it baggage.
And the other side of let's just take the media circus out of it. Let's take the personality out of it. Like, he just really hasn't been able to contribute on a level.
How many yards did Darius Slayton have last year?
I think it was like 8 something, maybe 7.
That's his
usual.
No, that's his usual number. His usual number is like 760. Last year, he probably had five something.
Yeah, the knock on OBJ is availability, right? Like, he's not someone that remains healthy or plays. Remember, he didn't play in 2022. He did nothing. He 536 or something like that yards in 21. I mean, and then another 500 and change in 23. Another 500 and change or 300 and change in 24. Like, it just.
What if he came in and was like a Cooper Kupp possession guy, ran great routes, got open?
They're not even in this, but there's not in the same ballpark. Cooper Kupp is still extremely productive.
How productive was he with Seattle?
What's that?
How productive was he with Seattle?
I mean, I thought he was way more productive than OBJ because
everybody thought he was washed. And again, I'm not. Let me be clear. I'm not advocating for OBJ, but I can make points of why it could be a good idea to bring him for camp. I don't think he's fully washed. I don't think he's not the same player, but you don't need him to be. I mean, do we forget that Jerry Rice played? And again, I'm not saying OBJ is Jerry Rice, but Jerry Rice played for Seattle Seahawks and was beyond washed and still contributed there. Mm-hmm. You have guys that can change their style of play. He's not going to be. That's the issue. If fans expect him to be the same OBJ he was when he was here with the Giants, that's a problem. If you can look at him and say, hey, he can be somebody different. He can be a possession receiver. He can be a guy that can open. He can be a guy that has great hands. He could be that third down receiver when you need a big first down.
But Sean, you can find a guy
the outside deep threat. That's not.
Yeah, I just don't think he can do that here. Like, I just think that's the way it is. Like, that's the way it is in sports. Like, I just don't think once you've been somewhere, like, it's like Geno Smith going back to the Jets. People can't forget what Geno Smith was the first time with the Jets. Like, like he can go do everything you just said for the Seahawks, and it'll be like, oh, nice. Look, we got this different version of Odell who's like, look at all he's matured and learned. It's just you can't do it when you go home. You just can't. You can't do it. It's gonna be why couldn't he take that one to the house like he used to? He's in Philly. Is he gonna pee in the end zone if he scores a touchdown? Like, it's just that's just what it is. It's just what it's gonna be. So.
And you're telling me we can't find a wide receiver that can get 530 yards? I mean,
again, all I'm gonna say is this: I trust.
Why do we think he's gonna get 530 yards? He got 12 catches 2 years ago, and he didn't play at all last year, and he got a suspension for PEDs. Why do we think this? You know what this is like? This is like Colin Kaepernick, when I'm like, oh, Colin Kaepernick still wants to play. He hasn't played in like 7 years. Like, why do we think he's still good at football? Like, his time has come and gone. So
again,
do you think Isaiah Hodgins is better? Do you think Isaiah Hodgins is better than?
Yes, I think right now Isaiah Hodgins is a better player.
I don't know. Really, Ryan? Okay. I think it's a close call.
Yes.
Yeah, I always tend to agree, just because, again, it's like he's been hurt a lot. He didn't play at all, Chris, in 2022.
Right. If you had a loaded wide receiver core, I would say don't even entertain it. But the fact, when you look at the depth chart at the receiver position,
but what is he going to give you, though?
Once again, you bring 90 players to camp. Injuries happen. Things.
All right, wait. Your theories, I really appreciate it and like the theory. It's 90. What's the big deal? Just bring a guy in. But he's not just any guy. And he's not going to, right? He's not just any guy. This guy is a superstar, or was a superstar And last year he had 55 yards.
If you had Brian Dable as the head coach, I would be very skeptical. The fact you have John Harbaugh leading this team and sitting in his office.
Yeah.
That I agree with. I agree with that. Like, the only problem is they had him once before, and I don't know that what I've heard matches up with the idea that it was a good situation for the two of them in Baltimore. I got to look more into that because I did not think it ended well in Baltimore. So
let me ask Ryan, why couldn't this story be it's a feel-good story? Odell's come back. He's learned over the years. No, I'm asking. I'm not saying that.
No, I think that's what it would be. I think that's
right.
what would it
as
be.
opposed to, hey, clown antics, everything else. Like,
well, that's what he's known for.
Well, no, because I think I can answer that question. I think day one, that's what it would be. And then the first time we saw him go like this down the field, it would be like, oh, that's Odell. That's what he does. He like waves and embarrasses his quarterback. And like, yes, the first day it would be he's back. He's willing to accept any role. And he's, matured. And he's just here for Jackson Dart. And you just want love of the game. And then the first time he did anything that reminded anybody of the old Odell, it would be like, oh, there he is. Let's go ask him about that. So, Jackson, what did you think when Odell was doing jumping jacks to let you know he was open down the field? Like, yeah, that's
the other thinking is if he's comfortable with being the number 4 and he comes into a game and he's playing against a defensive back that's
but he better 4. You better be sure he's comfortable when he says.
Well, that's what I'm saying with Harbaugh. There would be that. Hey, I trust I trust Odell a lot more on 3rd down and 5 than I do Slayton 3rd down and 5.
But again, why do you trust him on 3rd and 5? Because
he'll catch the ball. Because he'll catch the ball and Slayton will drop
because he didn't. Because he did in 2022.
No, because Slayton drops big time passes when they need to be
caught.
But
you don't know that Odell can even get off the line of scrimmage in 2020.
Well, that's why you bring him to camp, and if it shows that, he's cut. That's why camp is a big.
His film with the Ravens was still good. He ran good routes. He was getting open. Is he the same Odell? No, we don't expect him to be. I don't expect him to be. But his hands, you don't lose hands that quickly. You may get slower, but the hands aren't going away. And to Chris's point, that's why I trust it. Not because of what he did here, but because what he continues to show he can do. He catches the ball. He doesn't drop the ball. And he was running good routes with Baltimore. The film's out there. Now, I can't speak to Miami because I didn't watch what he did in Miami. But his routes with Baltimore were good routes. And he was getting open. And he wasn't complaining about not getting the ball or anything
Bill Collins makes this team last year and pulls up on a route where they should have caught the ball. I don't know if Odell does that.
And Odell understands defenses and what to run. Again, we might not have option routes, but
Odell Beckham averages over the last 6 years of football 287 yards. He didn't even play a game, in 2 years ago, 3 years.
Last year, not 2 years ago. Last year,
last year he had 18 targets. He made 9 receptions.
He played nothing. He did nothing.
Oh, that's right. That's 2025. That's right. We're in 2026. Like,
PDs,
he just doesn't play enough. He's not on the field enough. He's hurt, chooses not to play.
That's the biggest concern. But again, if you just invite him to camp, see if he can make the roster, if he's a different Odell, if he can fit in with the role that he wants, it doesn't hurt to bring him in.
Let me ask this. Let me ask it this way.
Yeah.
Let me try this because I'm on the fence. But let me ask this. What you are saying is that he has to check off 10 boxes, 20 boxes have to be checked off just to bring him to camp. He's got to make sure he knows, like why the headache? You got to sit him down and go through all this criteria. You know you're not going to start. We know you're not going to do this. We know you're not going to do. Like, why go through the hassle?
You're going through crap with Deonte Banks.
But Deonte Banks is a 23-year-old. But he's a 23-year-old first-round draft.
Yeah, and he's a dog, and he doesn't stick his head in there. He doesn't want to tackle. At least Odell practices hard and goes out. And
Odell never practiced hard.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait, what?
I don't know about that, Ryan. The whole thing with Odell was that he was a very good practice player. I don't know.
Not to go contrary, but
put it this way: the year I was there, I wouldn't say he was a hard practice player. I can't. That's not fair. What I just said is not fair. I didn't cover him from his heyday, 14 to 17.
Yeah.
Yes. I covered him in 18. I did not think he was a dynamic. I did not think he was a tone-setting practice play. But you're right. That is what I said is not fair. I got carried away. Like, before I got there, his reputation was that he practiced very hard. Yes. I did not see that in 2018 when he shut down his season with the hematoma. But yes, his early days, Odell Beckham was supposedly a dynamic practice player. I was covering Rutgers. I can't speak to it. What I said is not fair.
And again, I'm not expecting to be a dynamic player, but if he can come in and be a possession receiver, we lack that right now.
We're not
we
looking
lack
at
somebody with hands you can trust.
But I think you can find a possession receiver who can be your number 4. You don't have to draw up all these rules, Odell rules. We don't need Odell rules. He's not going to
need Odell rules, but you got to see if he's okay with being a number 4
he's not
receiver.
Going to be who he is. You're acting like he's not who he is. I mean, again, he had
first of all, the net stuff and all that stuff on the field, I never had a problem with. The only problem I ever had with Odell Beckham was his interview. Everything else on the field, I did not care about.
He was spearing.
I didn't care.
But you didn't care about
engaging the net. I did not care about that.
But you didn't care about it because he was getting you 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns.
That didn't bother me. But that wasn't an all the time thing, and that was a young thing, right?
Yeah.
You didn't see him doing those things when he went to other teams. Again, he didn't do it with the Rams. You saw none of that when he was with the Rams. None of that. You didn't see any of that. I think we're blowing out of proportion to say he's going to be that same Odell again. We all get better with age.
Sean, how many games
get better with age?
The Rams?
We all mature. We all learn lessons.
I just
don't think it's fair. Again, I'm not advocating for him, but I don't think it's fair to say he's going to be the same Odell he would when he was here, or have the same antics when he was here. That's my issue.
What I can tell you flat out is that he doesn't play. He's not on the field, guys. He doesn't play.
Then you cut him. If he can't make the roster, then you cut him. You don't have to worry about him not playing. Go ahead, Ryan.
What's the upside?
You get a guy that can catch the ball you can depend on as a possession receiver. You have another guy in there that Malik Neighbors wants to be with.
What's the upside?
He improves our receiving core.
He plays.
That's the upside.
He plays.
If he gets 500 yards, that's an upside.
Yeah, totally. I would. If you think he's capable of getting 500 yards, then yes, I would agree. Sign him. I don't think he's any more capable of getting 500 yards right now than I think Amani Toomer is of getting 500 yards. So if you told me you could get 500 yards, then I totally agree.
The caveat is he's got to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, I think he can get 500 yards in this offense.
You do realize
But again, I know he's been injured, right? Let me be clear.
Wait. No, let me be clear. It's not just
the last
injured.
year he was healthy. How many yards did he have?
2000. Let me go back to 2019. Hang on.
No.
Jesus.
Come on, Craig.
No, I'm looking at it right here, dude. Don't give me that crap. You act like
the last year he was healthy. How many? He wasn't with the Ravens in 2019.
After the Rams and the Cleveland, he played 8 games in 6 games. He played 9 games last year. He's only played since 2019. He's only had 2 seasons of 14 games. He's played
and how many he put up in those 2 seasons?
2 seasons. That's what I just said. I said besides 2013, it's 2021.
And 2000.
Just look it up yourself. Because if you don't believe me telling
Ryan's got it. Go ahead, Ryan.
The answer is 537 one year and 565 the other in 14 games. Both.
So if he can get us that, we'd be happy with that.
Would we not? I mean, I don't think I think it's simple as I don't think he can do that anymore. But yes,
I don't know if he can stay healthy. I don't know if he can stay healthy. Again, let me be clear. I don't know if he can stay healthy, but if you bring him into camp, you see what he can do. It costs us nothing to bring him in for a tryout and then cut him if he can't do what he's doing. And if he can do something, it helps this team.
So the upside is 500 bucks.
If it can help
500 yards. Is that
I would be good with 500 yards. And depending on what those 500 yards are, absolutely.
The biggest story in the NFL that day, no matter what else happens, would be the Giants cut Odell Beckham. That would be the biggest story in the NFL that day. And then 2 days later, there'd be 2 hours later, he'd be on the phone with Josina Anderson, and you'd have to be praying that he said nice things about you. That's the truth. That's the truth.
2013.
I think he's realistic enough to know that it's a long shot for him to make a roster.
Okay, maybe that would happen. maybe that would
I
happen.
think it's a long
He
shot.
just said he couldn't live on $100 million.
Oh.
You said he's realistic. You don't make any sense. You make
All
no
right.
sense.
Hey, Ryan,
All
this is all moot right now, but have there been minimal rumblings about this at all?
I mean,
within-
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we know he was in the building a couple years ago. He met Joe Shane. It didn't happen that year. They took him to that same restaurant that they took Harbaugh to, where they took McCarthy to that Greek restaurant and wined and
Rutherford,
dined him,
yeah.
and it didn't happen.
Does he still own homes here, Ryan?
Huh?
Does he still own a home?
I have no idea what I know. Odell Beckham blocked me the first year that I covered him. He blocked me on Twitter. I never had a relationship with him. I don't know him. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I know that they've been in contact again. I around the league heard that him and Harbaugh didn't necessarily finish on good terms, but that could be total lie. I heard around the league that the Giants loved JJ McCarthy. That was a total lie. I heard around the league that the Giants loved Shedeur Sanders. That was the total truth. So around the league is around the league. You hear that they didn't necessarily see eye to eye, but might not be true. I don't know if there's been conversations. I have no idea.
We're never forgiving him, Ryan. We're never forgiving him for what he did about Eli. We're not forgiving him for that.
I don't blame any Giants. I don't blame any Giants fan. Odell overstepped in that moment. So,
so
Eli seems to have forgiven him, but
yeah, well, because that's Eli forgives everybody, right?
Yeah,
he's laughing all the way to the bank.
All right.
Let's talk about.
But I do want to say again, because things get clipped and taken poorly. Like, I do want to say again, I was out of school there on Odell, like practicing. Like, I only covered him one season. I know his reputation was that he was a dog in practice. Doesn't stick with me from my one season covering, but he was banged up a lot of that season with a hematoma and a hamstring. And I know he shut it down at the end of that season. I know people weren't thrilled that he shut it down at the end of that season, but that
he missed the last 4 games.
Wasn't that was Shermer's last year, wasn't it?
That was Shermer's first year.
First year, which a lot of people shut it down that year, if I remember correctly. Right? Wasn't that the year they had the golf clubs in the?
No, that was the next year.
That was the next
year. Golden Tate replaced Odell Beckham and had the golf.
That was the boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, the boat was the
year before.
That was McAdoo. The boat.
Because that year, 2018, when he shut it down, you said you covered him in 2018. He played 12 games that year.
He played 12 games. He didn't recover an onside kick against the Bears, and then he shut it down the next week. So
maybe we can bring him in as a kick returner.
So my point being, I just want to make it clear. I don't know. I think he was a very good practice player before I got there. So
let's talk about this. What the most important thing is coming up this season? What's that one player? Chris, what's the one player that's going to make the most impact in 26? Like, whether it's a new player, whether it's an old player, like for the Giants to win 8 games, 9 games, 10 games, Chris, who's that one player?
It's got to be an impact. Well, looking at the receiver.
It doesn't have to be a receiver. It can be anybody.
Yeah, I know. I think this team goes as far as Dart goes. I'm not saying it's a surprise, but I think a lot rests on Jackson Dart.
So you're tabbing him as the most important player, whether it's development or execution wise.
I think second year development. You're looking at a new system, a new scheme, new coaches. I think a lot rests on his shoulders. Being, hey, quarterback is the one of the top spots, right? So I think with the new scheme, new system, new coaching staff, a lot rests on his shoulders. So I think this team goes as far as Jackson Dart goes.
How about you, Sean? One player.
Let Ryan answer this because he's got to go.
I got to go. The kids are acting crazy. Andrew Thomas is the answer. Andrew Thomas will be the answer for as long as probably for as long as I cover the team. They're totally different with and without him. That's been that way. They didn't upgrade the line. In fact, they probably right now the line is significantly worse without Greg Van Roten. So to me, until proven otherwise, Andrew Thomas is the most valuable player on the Giants. If they get great Andrew Thomas, then the offense looks totally different. Dart looks totally different. They get okay Andrew Thomas, then they still have a chance. If they have no Andrew Thomas, they have no chance, because right now you'd be looking at Bo at left tackle, I guess, and I don't. He's not ready for that. So
Ryan, any rumblings about Kevin Zeitler, who's still out there, one of the few guards still available?
Yeah, I have heard that name actually. Let me say this: they were not in on Wyatt Teller. I do not believe they were ever in on Wyatt Teller. I know people feel like they missed on Wyatt Teller. I don't think they were ever.
Is that say a lot with Bloomgren because he was the offensive he was the offensive line coach, and maybe there was.
I don't know the answer. I just know that they were never seriously involved.
Okay.
So, all right, let me run, boys.
All right, Ryan. See you guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Sean, what about you? What's your?
Yeah, see, Craig got excited. We can't hear him now.
Oh, good.
Hit the mic.
If you're gonna win 8 games, 9 games.
I'm gonna go with a non-obvious choice, but an addition that I like that I think is gonna make a difference. I'm gonna go with Tremaine Edmonds. Is a very important player because being able to shut down the.
Give me the you think he's the. I mean the not one of. I need the most important, impactful player. Who's the guy?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a non-obvious guy. I mean, I'm going to go with a non-obvious guy. I do think that Tremaine Edmonds coming in and manning that middle linebacker spot is extremely important because of how bad we've been against the run, his leadership qualities. So, yes, I love that signing, and I think he's going to make a big impact on that defense. So that's what I'm going with. I don't want to go with an obvious answer.
I'm kind of torn because I have 2 guys in mind. The first one is because it kind of it's like a domino effect. I think it's Dexter Lawrence because the Giants, as I mentioned earlier, the Giants didn't have a problem running the ball or scoring points. They had trouble shutting games down. 5 games. And whether Dexter is on the field or not on the field, he looked bigger than he's ever looked. He's got a bad elbow. We don't know if it healed right. We already know he wasn't on the field in the most important crunch times of the game. How many times, Sean, did we see him on the sideline? You know, with a minute left in the game. So I think from a defensive perspective, we need that 2022 Dexter Lawrence. And I know you can't go back in time, but whether it's he gets help next to him, he gets a better rotation, his elbow is healthy, he loses weight, right? Because he was bigger than we've ever seen him. I don't know what it is, but from a defensive perspective, like some of those games you win with a better push up front and a better pass rush up front. On the offensive side, I really, really, really think it's Malik Neighbors. He comes back healthy. Like all those receivers that we signed the 1-year deals, like I don't believe good receivers, or I should say great. I don't think great receivers get signed the 1-year deals. I just don't think their agents let that kind of stuff happen. You know, good receivers get 1-year deals or prove it deals, right? And we got a bunch of I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying we got a bunch of 1-year guys, prove it guys that are, getting let go by their team because they didn't want to get paid, whatever it is. Neighbors is our guy. He's homegrown. We know what he can do. If he comes back healthy, all of a sudden, it's a big relief, right? Big relief for Dart not having to make all this extra stuff happen, right? Like, and Wan'Dale did a nice job stepping up, but it's still a challenge to throw to a shorter receiver who's not necessarily the deep threat. He's a okay deep threat, right? But I feel like it's Neighbors. Like if Neighbors comes back healthy and confident and he wants to go rip up the NFL because he had to watch from the sideline, like, that's the moment where you're like, watch out. Oh, Neighbors is back. And then all of a sudden Dart's like, oh, this is what I've been missing, right? Or because, I think, what did he go down? Game 3? Or 4?
4 or 5, somewhere in there. I think it was
right,
like 4 or 5 games with him. Yeah. It was
first 3 games. Russ started, right? So I only think they played together for 1 game, maybe 2.
Well, they beat the Eagles on the Monday night or the Thursday night.
He'd gotten hurt at
2
home.
weeks later. He got hurt 2 weeks later.
Week 6?
Yeah, 2 weeks later he got hurt against the Eagles on the road, or 3 weeks when they played.
Wait, no, Neighbors got hurt at home.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Scatterbo. All right, you're talking about Neighbors.
Oh, yeah, Neighbors.
Neighbors, okay.
Malik Neighbors this year played
Chargers, San Diego.
4 games. Yeah, played 4 games, and we got that win, right?
Yeah,
that was
we were at
Dart.
that game.
Yeah, that's right. We were. We walked out of there so sky high for a win. And then, like, soon as you started to come down, you're like, oh, crap, we lost Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm kind of torn, guys. I'm kind of torn. Like, just legit playmakers. Dart made a lot of sense, Chris.
And if I could add one more thing with Dart, I think with Ricard and the running game that Harbaugh wants to install, I think you're going to see Dart under center more play action, which is going to open up stuff downfield for guys like Likely, Neighbors. So I think these are all things that Dart needs, is going to be taking on, especially being under center. It's something that he hasn't done that much of. So I think there's a lot of things on his plate.
And I know Ryan said AT, but I'm kind of like thinking like if he's healthy, I know he's an impact player. Like, he is the biggest impact player when he's hurt, right? Because the team suffers so much, right?
Right.
But if he's there by himself, like, we still might be a 4 or 5 win team. Like, for me, and Edmonds is a nice pick, but I don't know if Edmonds gets you like playoff bound, right? Like, I think it's a guy that makes the most impact. And I'm like, it's got to be Dexter Lawrence or Neighbors for me. Because when they're not there, the team is just not the same. Like Thomas, right?
Yeah, but we also saw how bad our defense got when we didn't have good middle linebacker play. Now, again, I said I'm not going to go with an obvious choice because another name you can throw out there is Brian Burns. Like, Brian Burns makes a huge impact with that defense. If he's doing what he's doing, if he's doing there, that's a whole different ball game, right?
And I kind of feel like there's nothing stopping him. He's now like got blood in the water, right? He can taste like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a top.
I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. I'm gonna throw another name out there as an impact player. All right.
Oh boy.
Abdul Carter.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I thought you were gonna say something like Banks.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah, Carter makes a huge difference too, 100%. But
I think he can win you a lot of games. That's what I think. He absolutely can win you a lot of games. He's a huge impact player. If he takes the next step of what he needs to do from where he, building on what he did at the end of last year, I think that makes a huge game. He can take over games.
Well, then let me ask you this then. Like, we all agree that like Styles is probably the pick or Downs is probably the pick. Like, they make the most sense. Now, again, I understand like adding Styles is an instant impact, but do we forget about BPA stuff? But like, couldn't Carter fill that role because he takes the next step? So maybe you're getting that production from the outside, not the inside. Like, is there an opportunity for him to make an impact? Because 3/4 of the year he was a no-show. So if he's on fire from the outside, maybe that takes some pressure off of Edmonds and McFadden on the inside.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think so though, because then teams are going to go up the middle. They're going to go away from him. They're going to go, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it could, but again, if you want to ask me, those are the two guys that I would put, not obvious choices. Like I said, I think Edmonds is just a huge upgrade in that middle. And we struggled in the middle. We absolutely struggled in the middle. Our linebacker play was not good. Not good at all. And it's a guy leading the defense and guy that can play in pass coverage. He may not be as fast as he once was. He may not be as good in pass coverage as he once was, but he's not a slouch.
He had 5 picks last year too.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's a guy who understands the game. Like, he's a leader out there. And I think that's huge. We know that. You're wearing the green dot. That's huge to me.
I think like we've all talked about, the biggest thing for the defense, the two things that were noticeable was, like I said, the linebacker play was terrible. And then, but the defensive line play was terrible, right? Because you didn't get any, they didn't even put Golston in the game till Bowen got fired.
I didn't think he knew how to use him, but he got hurt. He missed, I think, 4 or 5 games, right?
Yeah, and Bowen didn't even know how to get all 4 of our best players on the field at the same time a majority of the time. So, yeah that's huge. Darius Alexander, his game stepped up when Bowen was gone, right? Like, Roy Robertson Harris, like, he played better than people realize. I don't know. I think people are sleeping on him.
Especially against the run. Absolutely.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. So there's if they can get Golston to play next to Dex and then get Alexander to play next to Dex, they're in better shape than we think. I think linebacker was the biggest need to me going into it, and I still think it's the biggest need.
Let's hit one last drive, guys. Boom. One last drive. We'll take all your questions and see what's in here. I'm sure there's a bunch of them in here that we haven't answered, so we're going to rip through them. And also want to make sure you guys are aware. So this is the 6th year in a row we have done the draft show. The draft shows were live for 4 straight hours on Thursday, 4 straight hours on Friday. Chris hosts the Friday show. Sean is hosting the Thursday night show because Sean's going to cry if I don't put him on Thursday. And then we basically invite, like Sean will invite 15 guys. Chris will invite 15 people. We put on 60 to 80 people, right? Or I shouldn't say that. I invite 60 to 80 people to come on. Everybody gets 10 minutes, 15 minutes of fame. They hang out with us. They talk about the picks, who they want. And this is the 6th year in a row. I call it's the fan appreciation day, right? Everybody gets to come on and hang out with us and just talk smack and just have fun. So if you want to be part of that, you can send me a DM or send the guys, the rest of the team. You can send it to Truth. You can send it to Spartan if you want. Spartan Mike, still part of the show. He's just a little bit more of in spot duty because his wife told him he can't be on anymore. And that's just a joke, guys. I don't know. He's just busy. Let us know if you want to be involved. Some of you guys are OGs and staples. You come on every year, but I always try to invite new people. So I'll get a list from Chris. I'll get a list from Sean. I'll get a list from Spartan and Truth. I'll have a list. And then I just started sending out invites, and everybody gets a 15-minute time slot. You hang out with us. I'll try to get some giveaways this year. I also put a tweet out, guys, and this goes for everybody. If you have ideas and you want to do something during the draft show, bring it. Let me know. If you want us to create a segment or a giveaway or trivia or something like that, bring it. You know what I mean? We'll make it as fun as possible. Like I said, it's a 4-hour show. It's the longest show that we do all year. It's very draining to talk for 4 hours. I don't know how some of these cats do it for a living, but they get paid for it and we don't.
There's your answer.
Yeah, exactly. One last drive. Let's see if I can scroll through and and thanks for everybody for tuning in and hanging out. Let's see.
You got questions now, Adam, because I don't know how many were asked throughout the night.
I'm starting
to mention it.
I'm scrolling back. I'm up here. Joe B was saying some stuff, but I didn't see. I see you got to change that profile picture on S because it didn't look like you. Who's he talking about? I don't know who he's talking about. I'm just looking. Bijan. What exactly am I saying? I'm saying that there not enough running backs are offense and rushing and receiving threats. There are some. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Do you drug test this panel? No, we don't drug test the panel, Joe B. We do not do that. We wouldn't want to know what that would come up like because Sean, he's always tapping something probably down there in Florida, burning palm trees. I
can't say what I want to say to that statement right there.
No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's
non-drug related when it comes to tapping. That's all I'll say.
Here you go. Invite him to camp. What's the downside? Minimum vet major. No. Yeah. Listen, there's yin and yang to each side of it. G-men.
Good point, G-men.
R7I. R7. Yeah, I'm sure we can. We just went around and around for 20 minutes. You can find goods and bads to each side of it. There's plenty of things that make you cringe, and there's plenty of reasons why it could fit, right? So that's actually the only thing I disagree with your statement is I don't think he knows what he is at this point. You know what I mean? I don't think he knows. Is there a downside to inviting him to camp? Probably not. Veteran minimum, I know he's not going to accept that, but no, I disagree that he knows what he is at this point because he hasn't. I mean, in the last 6 years, he's only played 3 years. He's missed more games than he's played. Let's put it that way. I don't know. I'm looking for more questions in here. I'm up to 8 o'clock. He was a good teammate. Yeah, they always said he was a good teammate. What's this one here? Craig keeps changing the mind. It was $100 million. I was wrong. I originally said $50 million. He said he couldn't live on $100 million anymore because he's on crack. And, and it's just absurd for anyone to say that out when there's people out there grinding for 30 grand a year and working like overnight shifts, bagging groceries and plowing snow and all that stuff. I don't want to hear he can't live on 100 million.
It's the lifestyle, his lifestyle.
Yeah. It's just, but I'm saying, you know what? Don't say it.
No, don't
all
say
you
it.
want.
Right.
It's just disrespectful to the hardworking Giants fans trying to make a living in the most expensive city with Mondani running around, slapping all sorts of fees on people to do this and do that, and rent's going up. And I got to hear Odell can't live on 100 million. Like it's just disrespectful, especially to New York fans. What's this one here? More downside. What's the downside of bringing him in? We don't know what kind of shape he is in. He hasn't played.
That's what he's saying. Bring him in and see what kind of shape he's in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know. I'm still looking here. If there's more, let's see. I'm up to 819.
And by the way, that game, there was a lot. I mean, you look at all the players that were playing. They were former NFL players, and who they were playing against. Those the guys going to the Olympics. They're no slouches. They're no
It's football, bro. It's different.
Slayton drops that ball in the back of the end zone.
As somebody who played it and knows it, let me tell you about all the former NFL guys that I played up against in flag football.
Yep.
It is no joke. I know you played it.
Does Slayton make that catch?
Slayton doesn't make that catch in flag football. He does not.
We talk about, it's flag football, but you know what? Does Slayton make that catch in flag football?
Exactly. You still got to catch the ball. Flag football or not. You still
to your point, Sean, earlier, he still gets up high. He still has good hands. I mean, that's all I was saying.
He still has to get off the line without blowing an ACL, which he does every other year.
Well, that's the point. We all said that. We all agree on that. Yes. We all agree on the healthiness, the health issue for Odell.
I'm just amazed. As a Giants fan, the guy disrespected your quarterback, and you guys are like, "Let's bring him back." Odell can't be on the 90-man roster. You just cut him if he's no good. Dash, you're 100% right, but that's just more circus around a team. We're trying to move past the circus. We've been a circus with Judge and a circus with Dable and a circus with Shermer. We're just trying to move past being a circus, and there's no way on God's green earth, Dash, that if you cut Odell, which would be the move if he wasn't able to play, you'd cut him. It would be another circus.
But you know what? It's Craig, and not to keep belaboring the point, he's so removed from the glory that he had here. It's been so long. It's not like he had that season 2 years ago when he's coming back. I think we all Giant fans understand what he is.
It's the media that's going to be the problem. It's the media.
I don't think it has anything to do with the media when a individual
they're going to turn it into a circus. That's what I'm
just
saying.
What Ryan said. Are you happy you got 3 plays? That's what it will turn into.
Maybe. I look at reality of anyone that's willing to stand in front of a microphone and embarrass himself by saying that you can't live on $100 million 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks ago, it's making a statement that he's delusional still to this day. That
but
he doesn't
Craig,
understand.
If he gives the effort, that's all I care about. As fans, all we care about is the effort. Is he going to show up, and is he going to be a problem in the locker room?
Right. And he's not saying you can't live on $100 million. He's saying as a lifetime contract, you can't just have $100 million. That's it, is what he's saying.
You think he's the only one? All these guys are thinking that.
They're all saying it.
But nobody's saying it.
They are saying there's other guys that have said it. They're all saying it.
You're wrong.
A lot of the guys that made money like him that aren't anymore, of course, that's their lifestyle.
Listen,
They're gonna,
the guy that's watched,
they can't live like that.
To your point, you said, why do I think it would be that way? Because when you cut him, he will be that guy that he was 2 weeks ago. Why would it change?
Yep. That wasn't a football. That wasn't a football spit. Like that wasn't. I'm going to get cut. I'm going to be this way. Somebody asked him a question with that. That's different than what you're talking about.
It's not.
To me, it's different.
You guys are delusional.
He's going to be a circus.
You guys
for all you know, he can go and say,
you don't hire a guy.
I appreciate the Giants give me a chance. I just didn't have it. Like maybe somebody else will give me a chance because I think I can still play, which there's nothing wrong with that. We don't know what he's going to say. We don't know.
And you know what? If he's something, he will ruin any chance of being part of this organization, like a lot of former players, like Amani Toomer and a lot of these other players that come back and do stuff in the media and work with the organization. So if he says something like that, his agent should definitely say, hey, listen, keep your mouth shut, because if you wanted to work with the Giants or for the Giants at some point.
And again, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to bring him in, but if you want to talk about why it could happen, there's positives in my mind.
I agree. There are. Bo Collins, Jalen Hyatt. I mean, you're looking at guys on the bottom of this roster.
Yeah,
you
he's
tell me
definitely
Isaiah
better than
Hodgins,
Jalen
much as I
Hyatt.
like him. You don't tell me he can beat some of these guys out?
Yeah, he runs better routes than Jalen Hyatt.
He can't run anymore. He can't get off the line. He blows.
How do you know that, Craig?
That's not true. That's not true. He can't get off the line.
Because when he does play, he doesn't perform.
He hasn't played. The last time he played,
why hasn't he played?
Yards.
Why
if we get 500 yards out of him, we'll be good. The last video that's out there, his video with the Ravens with route running, he's been injured.
He's suspended last year
and he got suspended last year for PED.
So you're talking. Wait. So the guy who can't live on 100 million, the guy who blows an ACL, and the guy that gets caught for PEDs, and your guys are not only defending him, you're saying he's mature by taking PEDs at 34 years old. I mean,
all I'm saying is, if he's able to play, if he's able to play, bring him to camp. That's all I think most of us are saying.
Bring him to camp.
The point that I made was, and when you cut him, it's a circus, and you're still defending him, saying it won't be a circus. When
the media is going to make it a circus by asking
as a wide
question.
Receiver last year. PEDs.
How many other hold on a second though? How many other receivers are taking PEDs? You think he's the only one?
Let's find out who
you're
got
making
caught.
me defend Odell, which is bothering me to say because I'm
still
pissed over the Eli thing.
Who got caught last year for PEDs? What wide
receiver? Is he the only one? He's not the only one that's got caught for PEDs.
So tell me who got caught last year.
I got to look it up, and I'm not going to look it up right now.
Exactly. Because
so look it up. But he's not the only one. And how many people got suspended? We had people suspended for getting arrested and doing a whole bunch of other things. Like PEDs is not the worst thing that you can do. I'm sorry.
The point still remains that he is not changed. He's the same guy because he's still not able to get on the football field and play unless he takes PEDs. And he's dumb enough to get caught. You keep defending that he's different. He's not different. He's the same cat. He's the same.
I'm saying we don't know if he's different or not. When you listen to him in the media, listen, he's done a lot of interviews. He said a lot of things, especially when it's come to the Giants. He has shown that he's saying things differently when it comes to the Giants and stuff like that. The other stuff, I hear what you're saying. But we're focusing on the Giants. And again, PEDs is not the worst thing he can do. You think he's the only?
It was bad. He said it was stupid. You're missing the point.
Okay,
you just said he was mature.
People get caught.
We're not talking about people. We're talking about Odell Beckham.
So because he got caught, he's not.
We don't even know what the PEDs were. Because there's a list that stuff they can't take, and then they take stuff that's not on the list. So it's a very gray area.
His maturity, he still can't handle it.
Oh my goodness! Did he make a big deal? Did he whine? Did he complain? Did he make a circus out of it?
It's just facts.
Hold on a second. Did he accept his punishment? Did he accept responsibility? Yes, he did. That's a sign of maturity right there.
He had no choice. What was he going to say? No, he had no choice.
Did he come out and say, "Oh, it wasn't me. I took something this. No, it was a false test." No,
he accepted it.
Did he come out and say, "Hey, it was wrong"? I believe he did, didn't he? That's maturity.
No,
sorry,
I don't know what the statement is. I have not looked at what his statement is after his 9th mess up. I have not looked up what his statement.
Cole just said, he just put out there 7 players were suspended for PEDs last year.
There you go.
That's correct.
There you go. We didn't say, no one said he was the only one. We said he's still not mature enough. So when you cut him,
those other 6 guys aren't mature either.
The point still remains. I said it would be a circus when you cut a guy like Odell. You guys said, no, he's changed. He's mature. He's different. And in the last 365 days, okay, he didn't play, got hurt, got caught for PEDs and said he couldn't live on 100 million. He hasn't changed. He's the same dude.
Craig, did he beat his girlfriend up? That's what I mean. Stuff like that is what you're really concerned about. I mean, PEDs, he's able to play, right? I'm saying I think it'd be a lot different if he physically abused, a female, or he got, he was armed and
I don't think it's going to be Odell making it a circus.
Yeah,
I think the media is going to make it a circus. That's what I think.
And you know
the
what?
Media can't let it go.
And And to Sean's point, if it's in training camp, there's so many other things going on. If he doesn't make it out, it won't be a circus. It would be a circus if he was brought in game 3 off the street and now he's on the team. I think the fact that he comes in with so much going on in training camp with a team that's trying, every player trying to make the roster, I don't think it would be a circus if he got cut. Only if it was mid-season, in season, where they brought him in off the street. Different story. I think training camp.
Yeah, whatever, man. I'm not going to argue, guys.
Listen, we don't even know. Right? We're talking about it. Probably won't even happen.
Ridiculous.
We don't know. I don't know how he's going to be. None of us know how he's going to be. We're just saying it's not a bad. To me, it's not a big deal if you bring him into camp and see if he makes the team. I don't care. And we got Harbaugh as the coach. You think Harbaugh's going to let a circus happen?
Who are you more frustrated with, Jalen Hyatt or Odell Beckham?
Frustrated? I can't be frustrated with Odell because he's always been Odell. So I understand he's a clown. So I'm not frustrated with Odell.
Hyatt can't get off.
Frustrated with Hyatt
because press coverage.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have Odell give him a shot to see if he can get off press coverage.
Right.
Again, you guys keep flipping back this statement. I didn't say don't bring him in to see if he can play. Never ever said it. What I did say was he's still a clown. And if you cut him, he will continue to be a clown.
But he wasn't a clown in Baltimore. He wasn't a clown with the Rams. Miami, he didn't play much, but he didn't hear a lot of negative feedback.
You didn't. It's our media. It's our media that turns everything. Yes, it is. It's our media that turns everything into a circus. Right. Christian said it too.
You blame everyone but the player. You do that.
That's not true.
That's blaming Jalen Hyatt. He doesn't know the playbook and he can't get off press coverage.
I blamed Odell for that interview that he gave. I absolutely blame him. I'm saying if Odell comes back and it turns into a circus, the media is going to play a role in that because he went to the Rams. He was not a circus there. He went to the Ravens. He was not a circus there. And Chris just said
Ryan
again,
just said he went to leave on good terms. Ryan
he said that's not what he said.
Yes, he did. He said that
he said he doesn't know.
We'll clip it because he said he does not think John Harbaugh and Odell left on good terms.
He doesn't know. But he doesn't know.
There's a Harbaugh interview on YouTube that talked about Odell and his work ethic and how of a team player he was.
Right.
Well, they're going to have to give him $100 million and let him do PEDs. Guys,
hey, but he'll get some. He'll get some PR stuff.
PEDs and he gets 700 yards on PEDs. Go for it.
He'll get 500 yards and he'll have marketing deals all over New York. He'll be making money on the side, doing side gigs.
Yeah, you guys like the clowns and the part-time players.
I never had an issue with what he did here. Again, the only issue I had was his interview. That is the biggest thing. And the moment it happened, I knew he was going to get traded because I think he wanted to get traded.
You know who's a clown? Evan Neal telling all the fans to go flip burgers. Meanwhile, he comes back on a year deal. Too. He's humble. He's humble when he comes back. Harbaugh could have got rid of him and said, but
yeah, Harbaugh's keeping him to see what he can get out of him. Like this is
the thing. Like, he has a camp body, and he's
Harbaugh's going to change the clown
show.
Harbaugh is the right kind of coach to change the clown show. That shit is not going to happen under him. If it
that's why the clown's not getting signed by the Giants.
Yeah, but the clown Evan Neal, as you called him, just got signed and brought back an event minimum.
If he's done anything in the last 7 years, you can even turn a blind eye to it, but he's done nothing.
So I don't think he's going to get signed. But listen, there's a lot of momentum that is heading in that direction of him coming back. Like there's a lot of momentum. I don't think it's going to happen. But it would not surprise me if it did happen.
Yeah. Here you go. Look, I highly doubt Harbaugh will bring him in because
that's what we're saying.
Harbaugh knows who the clowns are.
That's not why. Good God, you and the clowns.
You guys just you know what? And what's funny is if he did come, Craig is jealous. Oh my God! Who are these?
And you know what? If he did come, it wouldn't be now. It'd be after the draft when the rosters
absolutely. Right.
Yeah, when if you couldn't find anyone and you were desperate, you'd say you dial 1-800 clowns are us. He answers the phone, and you're like, "Hey, could you come be a clown here like you were the first time?" However, the first 4 years,
Craig, this is come on.
Yeah, this is
dude,
wow.
Everything about him, he was the most dynamic offensive player the Giants had in history. And he flushed it down the toilet because he wanted to be a clown. The guy was absolutely amazing. I was pissed when he got traded. Everything about him. But ever since then, it's a joke. He doesn't play. He's hurt all the time. All he does is complain about everyone. It's never his fault. It's everyone else's fault.
But here's the thing. When did he do that? When he was with the Rams, the Ravens, or the
Dude,
Dolphins?
you know what? I'll make sure I pull all the articles for you, and I'll send them for you, because
nobody on the Rams, Ravens,
you
or
won't look
Dolphins
anything up because you're challenged by looking things up. So I'll look them up for you.
How many yards did Jalen Hyatt have last year? 200? 150?
Dude, you're not comparing Jalen Hyatt to OBJ. Why are you doing that?
Because in this stage of their careers, OBJ could probably get 400 or 500 yards, and Jalen Hyatt's a waste. And he's on the roster.
Jalen Hyatt's not going to be on the team. I told you. I mean, like, nobody's sticking up for there's nobody here sticking up for Jalen Hyatt. He's a bust. Right. He's gone. Well, what we're saying is that there are plenty of cats out there that will start 16 games and get 500 yards.
I'm just saying, Jalen Hyatt's going to camp, though. He's not cut. He's going to camp. He's going to have to earn a spot.
On a more serious. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just going to say, it's so early. We don't know what's going to happen with Hyatt. He's going to be a camp body.
Okay.
Here we go.
Right.
Exact quote from Coach Harbs. I love the guy. He's a pro. He's what you would expect from a world-class athlete.
He did say that was in the interview. Correct.
Yeah, we got that. And
no,
Ryan
said, that wasn't there.
Ryan said that there was a
an issue when they left.
Odell's super talented, very determined, really has a high standard for himself, really works hard.
That's all you want.
Right.
Clown. And Ryan just said that they left on bad terms.
But he wasn't sure. He had to check on it.
He wasn't sure. And we got to be careful because he was wrong about something else. And we don't want to.
And he got blocked. That was the key.
Right. And he got blocked. We don't want to put wrong words in Ryan's mouth. We do not.
I would say, Ryan, take it as a compliment. Wow. Odell blocked you.
We do not want to. We don't want to put words out there to misconstrue something Ryan said. Ryan said he did not know. He had heard.
Ryan's quote was, he didn't think they left on good terms.
He didn't think, right. But he doesn't know. He didn't think because league circles. But he also said league circles.
And by the way, head coaches in the NFL don't trash players. So that's real easy to find a quote that because you're not going to find a quote where
there's also a quote out there about Odell talking about Harbaugh to Dart, how you're going to love playing for him. So
you're just not going to find it. There's not a head coach in the league out there trashing wide receivers.
No, but there's a difference between not trashing them and overpraising. You can say something, you can not trash them and still not.
No, if somebody asks you, you say you take the high road and you're a professional. Anyone that asks you a question about any player, you're like,
but there's a difference between saying something that's not trashing somebody and praising somebody. If you praise somebody, that's different than you're going to take the high road.
Their job as a public figure is to say all the right things at the right time. He could say that, but he's like, but he's never going to play for
my team. Trash Vernon Davis. Don't want him, can't have him, can't play with him. Right. One of the best quotes of all time by a coach. Don't need him, don't want him, can't win with him.
Listen, it'll be interesting.
But on a serious note, we should not sleep on Darnell Mooney as that wide receiver. We should not sleep on him.
Who's sleeping on Mooney?
I think there's a lot of Giants.
Is this another narrative you've made up that people are sleeping on Mooney now?
People are sleeping on him. They still think we need another wide receiver. Like we need more for depth, but Darnell Mooney and Austin are going to do some things there. And Mooney especially. Under Matt Nagy, he had 1,000 yards. And then with a good quarterback in Atlanta, he put up almost 1,000 yards. And last year he was injured and still put up decent numbers. So I think there's our wide receiver 2 who could step in and be our wide receiver 1.
So Mooney, I guess if you think about, so when he got into the league in 2020, his rookie year, he had 631 yards, and then he popped. And I don't remember who the quarterback of the Bears was in 2021.
Trubisky.
Was it Trubisky?
Yeah, and Nagy was the coach.
That was Nagy. That was the 11-5 year they had.
So that was a 1,055 year. Then he had a significant, like, again, I don't know if Trubisky got hurt that next year, but he just plummeted to 493 yards.
Nagy left.
And then the next year he had another 400 yards. So he had back-to-back years. Again, Chicago hasn't had good quarterback play in quite some time.
No.
And
offense dropped dramatically when Nagy left.
Yeah, went to from the Bears. He went to the Falcons, and that first year, I guess, was
Kirk Cousins.
I think it was the year before Kirk Cousins, right? Kirk Cousins went there in 2025, or was he there in 2024?
2024. Because last year was 2025, and he was the backup.
Yep. So 2024, Mooney had 992 yards. So good quarterback play. He pops again. And then last year, I mean, maybe he was a little banged
injured.
up.
He was banged up. Yeah.
Because he had 4 and then he popped down to 4. So, I mean, if you look at it, like he's, he nice rookie year, pops, too bad, not bad, but, like subpar years because of bad quarterback play. Gets good quarterback play.
Yeah, it was Justin Fields as his quarterback.
When? What year?
One of those 2 years in Chicago where he went down. I'm pretty sure. Because when they got it
23, yeah, 23 he was with Chicago, right? Field.
Yeah.
And then then he gets good quarterback play and he pops with Cousins, and then he gets bad quarterback play with Penix and he drops again. So it's good to I mean, I was kidding with you, but I don't think anybody's sleeping on him. I really don't. I think he's
there are Giants fans sleeping on him.
But why do you say that? I don't
because they still are saying that we need a wide receiver too. There is a ton of Giants fans that are saying we need to draft a wide receiver with the number 5 pick.
Draft a wide receiver with the number 5 pick?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anything like that. I see like 37 round 2. I see a lot of that.
I've seen there's people calling to take Tate at 5, Jordan Tyson at 5. I see a lot of it on my timeline.
You think? Yeah. You must have a
strange. No, I'm just saying it for the hell of it.
Well, you do that most of the time. So what would make this any different?
I bring it direct from Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot. I pay attention to what's going on. Absolutely. People are still calling for a wide receiver. I think he can fill that role of what we're looking for. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't take a wide receiver at some point, but if we don't, I think Darnell Mooney's good. And I think the combination of Isaiah Likely and Darnell Mooney get us that number 2 receiver there. Austin can be number 3. If they draft another receiver, great. But we got enough weapons, in my opinion, now they can help.
You know what? It's going to be interesting because, again, you got a bunch of one-year guys that are like trying to prove it to get bigger deals, right? So, again, we didn't have a problem scoring points. Defense.
We're going to draft. Listen, I said all along, I want Styles or Downs. And I said today on Twitter, I would double dip in the linebacker market. There's a lot of talented inside linebackers. I would take 2 in this draft. But the biggest thing is
new system, Craig.
Yeah, it's a new coach. We got rid of Bowen, and I don't care what anybody says. We win. The what if game, fine. You're gonna say you can play a what if game, but there's no doubt in my mind we win more games if Shane Bowen is not our defensive coordinator last year. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, he was really bad, but players still have to make plays, man. Like it was rough. We scored 5 games. You lose.
Well, they started making plays when he was gone.
Not enough to win though. We were in 5 games. Maybe there was that last game. Was it Chicago?
They made enough plays.
We had Chicago to the end. It was 10.
Yeah. Well, Chicago
offense went down when we lost Scat, and we had to rely on Singletary more. Yeah.
Bowen was really a drag. I mean, he just had no idea how to get the best out of those players. But at the end of the day, it's still like we got to figure out how to close out games. I don't think we're going to have a problem throwing the ball. I don't think we're going to have a problem running the ball.
Well, that's what when you say closing out games, you're talking about that 4-minute offense, get Ricard in there with Scatterbo and running down that clock and just power football inside 4 minutes, right?
And
if you can get
who knows how to play defense,
if you can get the defense off the field, right?
You will. You absolutely will. Like that. There's more talent in that defense than people realize. It gets a bad name because those guys were not playing fast under Bowen. They were taking bad angles. There was a whole thing they're doing that is definitely on coaching. And you saw the difference when Bowen took over. Regardless of who they were playing against, they were flying to the ball. They were in better position. They were making better plays. Our biggest weakness, in my opinion, was inside linebacker last year. That was the problem. Because our guys would just take on blocks, would not try to shed blocks. They wouldn't do anything. And I understand you can say, well, the D tackles, well, you know what? D tackles don't always get in the way. Like linebackers have to make plays. They got to read the play better. You watch tape on Sonny Styles, or Caleb Downs, you see they read the play. Our linebackers were not doing that. They legit were just taking on the block, holding it up, and hoping for somebody else to make a play.
what a big issue too also was watching receivers catch balls. Like,
Yeah.
just watching guys catch balls possession after possession after possession. So it to me, I mean, we'll definitely agree to disagree. I don't think Debo is good enough, and like he had a nice season, but he's always hurt. This isn't like the first time he's been hurt. And you don't really have a true number one. And like, he kind of started off with a decent year, like, but you just don't have that CB2, let alone.
But here's the thing with
CB2.
Craig. Here's the thing with Debo. He was number 2 with the Saints, and Lattimore left, and he took over the CB1 position and did great. It's the scheme. The scheme.
When has the Giants really had a number 1
in press man? Right.
They never have a number 1 corner.
Bradbury. You have to go back to Bradbury. Maybe he's
and you don't need a number 1 corner to win in the NFL. You don't.
I know. We could disagree because most teams have number 1s, or if you have,
But 2007 and 2011, they did not really have a number 1.
No, that was because you had such a dominant pass rush.
Thank you, and that's what with these linebackers and these edge rushers. Right. This is hopefully they could duplicate that, or something not duplicated, but
different.
Create that pressure.
I mean. And it's interesting you say that because, I mean, like you thought we'd have that this year, right? But it just didn't happen. And then like you start looking into like rotation wise and who's not on the field that should be on the field. Like there's a lot of things that went wrong.
Yeah, the rotation was ridiculous, right? Dexter's on the sidelines on big third downs.
And again, you just there's so many things that on paper look one way, and then when you get in the game, you realize that, you don't play the game on paper. Because, we thought we had defensive tackles and we didn't. We thought Dexter was healthy and he wasn't. We thought Debo was going to be a number 1 here and he wasn't. And the scheme, whether it hurt him or didn't,
you always hear coaches have a feel for the game. You never got the impression that Bowen really had a feel for the game. You're hoping Wilson has that a feel for the game.
And I'm not going to say any player on that defense last year outside of Deonte Banks wasn't this or wasn't that because of Shane Bowen. And those 2 years, you could see it like, no, sorry. Everybody gets a clean slate and we'll see what they can be. And again, if you look at Adebo's track record, he ended up being the CB1 in New Orleans because of the scheme that they ran. And Wilson runs a similar scheme, more physical, more press, not man, but press zone, whatever. And I think that better fits. If you're not comfortable, you can't do it. Like, we all played it. We get it, right? Like if you're not comfortable in what they're trying to do and it's not your strength, you're going to struggle with it. We signed guys that were good in press man, and that's not what we did. Like it made 0 sense. Like everything you read, if you go back and read about Adebo and where he was good in, he was good in man, he was good in press, he was good in physical play. We didn't do anything of that after signing him. Like that makes 0 sense. It's like Bowen's like, I don't care what my players are good at. I'm just going to do whatever I want.
And then the most interesting thing on the defensive side is Downs becomes an instant starter and you just paid Holland. So you kind of wonder if Newbin being a high pick becomes more of a, almost like a in the box linebacker because you really can't afford to put Newbin on the bench, right? So it's like it'd be really interesting if Downs is the guy, because Holland's getting paid a boatload of money, so Holland's starting, so maybe Newbin becomes that in the box third safety.
He could, or maybe they could bring out of him what he was in college and he becomes a better ball hawk like he was in college. Like what he did in college transfers to the NFL. Bowen just never got it out of him. Like it's rare to see somebody.
Either did Wink though.
Wink didn't have him.
Wink
didn't have him. Bowen had him for both years.
This is Newbin's third year. This is last year's. He got one more.
So, but like what
4-year contract for rookies.
Yeah, what Newbin did in college, those skills transfer over to the NFL. It's very rare that they don't in the safety position with what he did in college. So it made 0 sense. Like it made 0 sense. So
I don't find him overly explosive. Like I said, I don't know. Like if you're bringing Downs in to start, somebody's sitting, and you're not sitting Hollings. You just pay him a boatload of money. So when, like I said,
he's going to play the 3 safety look.
Yeah, he plays a lot of 3 safety.
Yeah,
look.
As we talked about months ago, like they take that slot corner off the field, but not full time, right? It's not a full time. It's just one of the defensive schemes where they take the slot corner off the field, which is Phillips, and he winds up sitting on the bench, or maybe he competes on the outside. But then you have the 3 safety look, but you're not going to play 3 safety look the whole time, right? So again, like I think Newman becomes the odd man out.
It could.
So they might reevaluate what they do with Newman, because you're not going to take Holland or Downs off the field.
Yeah.
Or like you said, or Styles, because then you got Styles and Edmonds, and then McFadden becomes the third linebacker, and they just
Great
pay
depth,
him.
right? If he's the third linebacker, that's pretty
That's
good.
And then, so it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't see like Love being the pick. Just would be odd to me. Wide receiver at 5 would be very odd. 37 is a great spot for it. It really would make a big difference overall. Hyatt, I don't even know if he makes the team, Chris.
Chris, do you think Love would be an odd pick with a coach who wants to run the ball?
No, and that's what I was going to say. The caveat to this whole thing is this Harbaugh, just like his brother, with the offensive line, the fullback, wanting to play this old style type of football. So in a way, it wouldn't surprise me, Love, especially with Scadaboo coming off the injury. Tracy to me is a 3. He's a nice running back. Almost reminds me of a Wayne Gallman. I could see Love as the draft at 5 just because of Harbaugh and how he wants to control the game and run the ball.
I just look at what he does.
Do we see Jeremiah Love as a younger version of Derrick Henry?
Oh my God.
Love is tall. He's built.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we know
Derrick
Harbaugh
Henry
likes
doesn't catch the
linebackers,
ball
but-
out of the backfield.
You say it again?
Henry's not a catch the ball out of
He
backfield.
was early in his career with screens and stuff like that. I get what
Not
you're saying.
like-
Love's a better route runner than Henry,
Mhm.
but he was used in the passing game a lot in Tennessee.
Yeah, but again, not his forte, right? He's downhill runner, like not that he can't catch a ball here and there. Like, if Love was the pick.
Well, Love's got both. That's the thing about Love. And listen, I'm not a Notre Dame fan, so the fact that I'm even saying this about Love should tell you all you need to know right there. Like, Love is a really good running back, explosive running back, and he's good with his hands. So, and a good route runner with that. He can be used as a receiver, but he's a really good runner too.
For
Really
Harbaugh
good
to bring in the fullback, which we haven't seen since Hanoski and those guys, Hedgecock and all them, it makes you wonder how serious he is about this running game, because there is a traditional, not an H-back, an actual fullback. Scadaboo's not going to carry the load. It's going to be with somebody else. And it could be Tracy. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was Love, just because of the way this team's being set up.
Or
Also,
somebody later in the draft.
Singletary
Because they
got
looked
paid.
at
Let's not
the
forget
Arkansas
Singletary
running back.
got paid.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that, because
Yeah, but he's going to
right
carry
now-
4 running backs. He'll carry 4 running backs.
Yeah,
He carried
which-
4 running
with the
backs last
fullback.
year on the active roster.
if you look at what Ricard did in Baltimore, catching balls out of the backfield, he also has, the power, the size, the strength. Putting Scadaboo and Tracy and Singletary behind Ricard changes the way they've been running the ball. So, I mean, when you think about, and then you look at how he doesn't draft running backs, it's usually wide receivers, it's usually linebackers, it's usually safeties. Like, it's not, it would be bucking his normal trend to go running back. And he's ensured that Tracy and Scadaboo and Singletary are insulated with a true fullback. So I don't think he needs to go and say, I need to have another running back, for that position. Scadaboo's got great hands. There is no doubt about it.
So
He's got
Tracy.
great hands out of the back.
Yeah.
Ricard is the fullback, can catch. How many touchdowns did he have? A handful of touchdowns catching the ball out of the backfield. Like, it almost feels like he can trust Ricard to blow open holes for Scadaboo. And we've seen the Earth, Wind, Fire stuff, all those guys. I think,
but he's going to have a 4th running back, and Singletary's not stopping him from drafting anybody.
You're saying a tailback, so 5 running backs and a tailback, because
4 running backs and a fullback.
Ricard is the 4th running back.
He's going to have 4 active running backs and a fullback. He had 4 active running backs on the roster, not including Ricard last season.
What do you call it?
Because he knows somebody could get injured.
Turbo's still on the practice squad.
I don't think
he's on the 53. They had to protect him, so he's on the roster.
Oh, that's right, because they kept bringing him up and down and up and down.
But
I personally think it's all smokescreen with Love, but it would not surprise me if they draft him. It would not surprise me. I personally think they want Tennessee or somebody up. I personally think they want Tennessee to draft them. So one of Styles or Downs is there at 5. That's why I think all that smoke is out there. Because who was it? McShay came out today and said league intel is saying that they're really serious about Love. The Commanders are serious about him. So when you hear league intel, to me that's saying smoke screen.
They're putting it out there, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's smoke screen to me, at least for the Giants.
Giants were among the top 5 running teams last year with Scat missing half the season. Tracy was a main guy, and Singletary was good enough.
That's a great point.
But we don't want good enough. Singletary is good enough. I'm not saying that our running back unit is not good and we can't do well with them. I'm saying Harbaugh wants to run the ball and he knows guys are going to get injured. He's
never
injured.
picked this high, and how enticing is it for him?
Exactly. And he's gonna
history will tell you not that enticing.
Well, he's never picked. When's the last? Did he ever pick 5?
He picked 6 was the highest he picked, and he took a tackle. He took Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, and again, it's just in general. Like, I mean, if they want, they moved in 2018, Chris. They drafted up and down 6 times.
Yeah,
if they wanted to move up for a running back, they would. It's just not.
Sure.
Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it would not surprise me if it happened. Our running game is absolutely very good, but I mean, if you draft Love, it's going to take that running game over the top.
Yeah. And I think that fizzles a little bit with the Singletary signing. I mean, Singletary's great in short yardage, good pass protector. So I think that kind of fizzles.
And you know what? Let's not rule out that they draft a guard. Never rule out that they draft a lineman.
Hey, they need one.
They could.
Because right now you could have all the great running backs you want. If you don't got any holes, it don't matter.
Yeah. Right now you got Aaron Stinney penciled in.
Maybe they draft him because they don't want. Yeah, because K-Mac said that he could go, and I brought it up earlier about he could go to the Commanders at 7. Maybe they draft him so he doesn't go to the Commanders at 7. Who knows? Who knows, right? Like,
this makes it fun.
Anything's possible at this time of year. But again, I do think it's going to be Styles or Downs. That's my prediction.
And K-Mac, Denard Wilson does like to run a very zone that turns into a man. He takes the slot corner off the field and he turns it into a third safety. So, like, if Belton was still here, or what's his name that he signed?
Darius Washington.
Yeah. But in this case, those guys also play special teams, K-Mac. So, like we were talking about, you draft Downs, Newbin becomes the third safety who plays more like in the box, which is like a slot.
Yeah. So, and Arne makes a good point too. I mean, listen, Bo could be the right guard, but then you're worried about now who's that tackle, right? Somebody goes down. So I don't know.
It sure ain't going to be a Zudu.
Listen, Azudo's a guard. That's what he was
if they move the guard, I feel a lot
I remember
better.
when they were like, he's a guard, he's a tackle.
And they did it for 2 years in a row. Like we saw it. The tape was already out. What are they doing?
Yeah, I want to know who bright idea was that to move him. Was that Bobby Johnson? Was that Shane? Like, who was that?
I don't know. He sucked anyway.
Who? Azudu?
Yeah.
He's good at running.
Not a guard, he did. Not a guard.
Blocker.
His rookie year, when he was splitting time with Bredesen, he played well.
And he played well in the preseason last year. He got hurt.
At guard.
He's not good. He's not good. I'm surprised he's still on the team. In fact, I thought they would.
I'm not.
In fact, I thought they were going to keep what's his name?
McKeithen?
No. Slotman. Because he can play guard and center.
I know. He got nabbed. I mean, he got picked up right away.
Yeah. He signed for more money and he went to Tennessee.
Yeah, I thought they were going to keep him because he can play guard and center.
Yeah,
but
I know.
No, Zudo's he's garbage.
As a tackle, yes. As a guard, no.
As a football player, he's garbage.
No. I don't like anybody.
I like guys that compete and do well, not guys.
He did though. When he was in his
compete.
position, he did. He competed. He was a starter his rookie year.
He's not a tackle.
He was a starter because he was forced into being.
No, he wasn't. He was not. Him and Bredesen were starting guards for the year. He wasn't forced into anything. They split time during games.
Zudu was terrible and lost the job, and that's why he's a backup now.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Pass blocking wasn't his strength, but a run blocker, he was very good.
And he didn't do bad pass blocking as a guard either. He actually played well his rookie year.
He played
as
well
a tackle. He was awful.
So good that he's starting now.
He should have never been moved to tackle. Is my point.
No.
Well, then maybe he can beat out Runyon.
Maybe. That's why they go to camp.
Competition at guard. Who knows? I mean, we don't know what they're going to do at guard. It could be Zeitler. It could be They could bring back GVR. Who knows? And we need depth. I mean, you can't have too many offensive linemen, right? So if he comes in, he competes, he does well at guard, you got a backup guard. Right now, it's Aaron Stinney and Azudu. That's our two backup guards, right? I don't think we have other backup guards. And Stinney comes in and does well. Like, that's the thing. Like, we don't need guys to be all pros on the line all the time. How do they perform together? And they perform well together. Stinney came in and did pretty well. Azudu just is not a tackle. He should never been moved there.
Too many experiments with this offensive line.
Exactly.
We can go back to, Jalapeno. We can go back to guys like that, experiments.
I knew it was wrong when they
John Jalapeno, never a center. They throw him at center. I mean, we've seen this over and over again with experiments on the offensive line.
They did that whole North Carolina thing with the Zudu and McKeithen. Like, they were like, "Hey, I'll take both your guys," and we're like, "Oh, really?"
To be fair, when they were there, they had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushers, running backs there. And so I get it, but that was a Bobby Johnson decision. He was there at their pro day. He worked them out. He wanted both those guys. McKeithen just couldn't stay healthy. That was his biggest issue. He couldn't stay healthy. He probably should have moved him to guard instead of tackle as well. Like, I don't know. They just, hopefully now, like, they'll stop moving guys out of position and experimenting. Like, they'll put guys where they can be successful. That's what I want to see.
There you go. That's what we want.
Yeah, that's depth. You got to have the depth, right? So you don't have to move Rob from Peter to give the Paul.
By the way, the Patriots signed former Giant great James Hudson today.
Oh my God, that was a terrible signing too. The guard from Baltimore, Mr. Jervis is
Sufebe? What's his name?
Falele or whatever.
Yeah, right. He's like meh, right? He's nothing.
Yeah,
he's all right.
Who are you talking about?
Falele from the guard from Baltimore.
Right. Yeah, he's not great. I'd rather take Zeitler, wouldn't you, Sean? Craig?
Yeah, I would take Zeitler. Absolutely.
Well, the odd thing about Zeitler is that he was with the Giants, and
he was with the Ravens.
He was a nice. I mean, he wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. But he was just a good guard. That if they gave him enough chance to gel with the rest of the line, he probably would have been
probably
fine.
one of the better guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was a better lineman. The rest of the line sucked outside of Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, and that was a Gettleman move. Gettleman shouldn't have. It was a salary cut.
Yeah.
Zeitler was just odd in general. He was here, and I don't know, like you said, he wasn't here long enough. He was here 2 years, I think.
It was.
And then, they went to Baltimore, and he did a nice job there. Like, see, he's one of these guys that, like, I don't know, he just flies below the radar. I never thought Zeitler was terrible.
He did it with Tennessee this year.
But again, I don't think we have. We need the depth on the offensive line because I don't think Runyon's bad. He's just overpaid. And JVR now is looking for a job. I'm not really sure why they just didn't bring him back.
Maybe he doesn't want to come back.
They're waiting on that market right now. They're seeing if they can upgrade over him, and they're going to let that market settle.
And by the way, the Giants
at this point,
the Giants have 3 6-round picks. Somebody in here, our name was saying the Giants have 7 picks. Yeah, they just happen to skip a bunch of rounds in the middle, right? Because there's no 3, and then there's no 7. There's 3 6s. So
they may trade back and get 2 second-round picks this year. Who knows?
They got some collateral.
They trade back in the second round. I think they trade back in the second round.
Get that third, right?
And they don't necessarily need the third. You never know. They're not guaranteed to be great players, right? You never know.
No, but you see Harbaugh always likes those when you look at his track record, he likes having those picks in the third.
All right, well, we're out of here. We're going to see you guys next week. I'm done arguing and educating you people on what's really happening in the world of Giants football. But they think they know what they're talking about too. That's all that matters, right? So that's why you're here, because we're talking Giants football every Monday for 2 hours sometimes. Giants football. I got to go to bed. So we'll be here next Monday. We've got the draft. If you want to be part of the draft show, hit up Sean. Hit up Chris. Tell him you want to be a part of the draft show. Get your 15 minutes of fame. We have a blast. It's just a long day. A lot of fun. Yeah, it's a long day. That's why I'm always like, I wish there was 2 rounds on day 1 instead of just 1, because that whole anticipation for right. And it also used to be 9 rounds. Remember, Jesse Armstead
used to be on Saturday. It used to be a Saturday. That was the first round. First and second round used to be a Saturday.
Yeah. So I just always wish there was 2 rounds, because like the anticipation is they're like Malik Neighbors, and then we debate the Malik Neighbors for 2 hours, and then there's no other picks. You know, so that's always like.
But the one thing is when there is that next day, there's a lot of trades. Like there's, GMs are doing work, and you do see things happen too. In between
Chris is going to have the fun night because there may be a trade going on in the second round on that second day. So
yeah, but he's not going to have you and me there to help him out. He's going to be with.
He doesn't need it. He's got all the fun.
I got Truth. Truth's going to be here.
Yeah, I'll give you Truth, and I'll try to keep it smart.
Yeah, Truth knows hey, listen, Truth knows the college game.
Truth does know the college.
Knows it better than me. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. I get you Truth, and I try to get Spartan, but Spartan will have something.
And Colt said he's going to stop in. He's going to stop in for.
No, wait a minute. Colt said no.
He's boycotting it.
Ban it, boycott it.
He's been boycotting.
Come on, Colt, give him a suggestion outside of banning or boycotting.
I said I would do anything to get Cole back on the draft show. I'd said
Colt, what do you
want?
Throw
him an Amazon gift card. Oh, come on, throw him an Amazon gift card.
If Cole's not there, it's not the same. When he boycotted last year because we put him on day 2 with Sean, and he was like, "This sucks. I don't want to be with Sean."
Craig will be giving away a Gary Downs jersey signed.
I'm thinking, like, where the hell will I find a Gary Downs jersey? I have to call his son and be like, "Hey, his Pop's got an old jersey laying around."
Right. He's going to be
we draft Caleb Downs. Hey,
be like, yo, bro, Cole needs a jersey from your Pops.
Hey, Cole would get a lot of high fives with a Gary Downs jersey. That's original.
He would. People would be like, "Yo, that guy knows what he's talking about."
Ran hard, Gary Downs.
Look, he's playing hardball. Look at his comment. It says, "No, I can't be bought."
We all have a price. Let's not kid ourselves. We all have a price.
I don't know. Cole's a stickler, man.
He is. He's great.
Wait a minute. It says I'm definitely coming on for a Gary Downs jersey.
There you go, Craig. Go find one.
Go.
Let's go. We gotta go.
I'll tell you right now. If I find a Gary Downs jersey, I might just keep it myself.
Even if Craig has to stitch the numbers individually himself and actually put the name on the back, he'll do it.
Wait, you mean the markers or the iron-on won't work?
You're a former seamstress. You can do it. You know what you're doing.
What seamstress? I don't know. I wish that was the case.
Craig used to work in the cleaners in his 20s. He knows how to sew.
I don't even think I know how to thread a needle, let alone stitch letters on
the needle. Definitely, you can't thread a needle with a football, but you can do it with a sewing machine.
That's the quote of the year right there.
I was thinking maybe we could use like Sharpie or like a duct tape across the back and just sign it on
the Barkley Singletary move. We could do that too.
Yeah, like all those Cleveland Browns jerseys.
Oh, with
all the quarterbacks they have.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Oh, Cole, you just, man, we got to get him a Gary Downs jersey.
Gary Downs jersey.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
A tank of gas on eBay. No, it won't. No, it will not. Again, I don't know if they even make a Gary Downs jersey, but now I'm going to get off here and go look for one.
Right.
We'll see you guys next Monday.
Awesome.
What should we do for the